Today we are doing a reading on how to find financial freedom through using your voice and your writing. This could be for business writing or personal and creative writing. The idea is for you to share your experiences, your life, and to put that expertise, knowledge, and lived experience into a business that can sustain you while also offering you the opportunity to show the world what it is that you have to offer to the world. And we just had a lot of cards come through, but I'm going to ask Spirit to chill it out just a little bit because we're going to have a pretty quick reading. This is a collective reading, which means that anybody who gets this message is meant to hear this message, but there may be more than one message here. So if something doesn't resonate, feel free to leave it behind. What I'm seeing in this reading so far is an absolutely insane amount of pentacles. So we know that we're talking about the physical body or physical sensations. We know that we're talking about money and finances or anything to do with the earth element. So the very first one that we pulled today was the Eight of Pentacles in its upright position, and the Hierophant was the second card that we pulled. And they are in this sort of command position. They are beginning our reading for today, which means that we're going to add slightly more meaning to these two cards. The first thing I must say is that the Eight of Pentacles is all about hard work. It's about showing up to the detail of your work and creating a craft that you can be proud of. You can see that this figure has even placed their pentacles that they've already constructed on this sort of pillar or tree, showcasing them to the world and showcasing the hard work that they've been working on. The Hierophant recognizes that there may need to be a structure, or perhaps there is a structure around you right now that needs to help you to reach your goals of publishing or sharing your writing with other people. And this is the key, that you can step into the space and the identity of being a writer just by writing. Because a writer simply is a person who writes. So if you're in this space of, I don't want people to see my work, or I don't want people to judge my work or criticize my work, just remember that the only way that you can be a writer is by writing. It's as simple as that. For myself, when I started out, I didn't really want to call myself a writer because to me that was something external, an identity that I didn't inhabit yet. But little did I know that anybody who writes is a writer. Okay? That's the message from Spirit. Get all of your writing out there and just do it. And if you can publish it, even better. If you are just writing it, that's cool for now. You will want to share it eventually. The Hierophant talks about there being spaces that are already viable for you to share your information and wealth, and also structures of support that help you. Okay. The Two of Pentacles has come in its reverse position, which is talking about maybe that you're a little bit in the space of forcing yourself to get things done, to write and write and write. And that there's another better way of doing it, which is not forcing yourself and not working so hard on something that you feel overwhelmed by the possible work that you have in the future, which is what the Seven of Pentacles here is talking about, really. What we see is that there's a figure sort of having already taken one of the pentacles out of the bush, is sort of solemnly looking at the other pentacles still in the bush and thinking about all of the hard work that awaits them still. And this card just reminds us that there is also an easy way to put your writing out there to become famous, if that's what you want, to become rich, if that's what you want, and to be stepping into this space of being a writer. And it doesn't have to involve forcing yourself to write. Many times we think that if we just do it, we just have to do it. I just have to set a schedule. I just have to get over my procrastination. But usually the procrastination is hiding something deeper, which is what I think the King of Swords is coming here today to give us a little nudge to think about this. The Knight of Pentacles is talking about how far you've already come, how much you already have learned in your life, and the value of that. It talks about standing in a space of authority as someone would if they were on a horse, and as someone would if they were nicely decked out in their little knight type of stuff, holding a pentacle. This looks like a person who has personal power. And therefore, we talk about you already having every lived experience that you need to become a writer, which, by the way, is not that hard since you already are a writer if you write. And this is true if you're a painter. You're already a painter if you paint. You're already an artist if you do art. That is all it takes to be an artist or a writer or a painter. And your lived experiences are extremely valuable. You're good at your craft, and your voice is unique, and you are holding something of incredible value with that, your voice. Okay. The King of Swords is our final card that comes through today after the Knight of Pentacles. And the King of Swords talks about the shadow pieces that are still controlling your behavior through subconscious belief systems, which is a lot of words. So let me break that down in a more understandable, normal type of way. The King of Swords is talking to us today about the importance of looking into our hearts and minds, into the places that we don't generally like to go, to figure out why we have been feeling procrastination. Because sometimes there are beliefs that we form throughout our lives, most especially in childhood when the brain is still very malleable and we're in a position of having to learn from the people and the society around us. And we create ideas of how things are. For example, you may have heard artists don't make money, or the starving artist, or any other form of that. This is a stereotype. It's one example, which you may believe in or not, but it's important to write it down. You want a little bit of extra ritual power, use a blue pen and focus in on the things that you may still be believing about yourself, about artists in general, about writing in general, about what it would mean to be successful. Write it all down. And a great handy way of doing this is just to imagine you're successful. And because I'm a grammar teacher, or I was for a very long time, over a decade, we can use conditional sentences. If I were a successful writer, I would, and then you finish the sentence. And you can use those if sentences to start to really get to the root cause of it. If I make a lot of money, my family are going to ask me for loans. If I become a successful writer, then the dream my parents had for me won't come true. If I write an article about XYZ, people will think that I don't have the credibility to write that. If I write a really successful article that gains a lot of attention, people will put negative comments. If I write my book, what will people think of me? Or people will think negatively of me. And that is where you start uncovering how you truly feel, because it's often that we sort of smash those true feelings down in order to just get on with our days and get on with our lives. And so to me, it's incredibly important that we do take the time to just see what's going on, because as long as it's going on in your head, it's really powerful to get it out onto paper. It's going to help you a lot. Okay. Thank you so much. And I wanted to let you know that if you would like a more personalized reading of what we have just done here, so that we can get to the root of your manifestation, what might be blocking you, then please check out the link in the post or the description below for this one-time reading. You can choose the small reading, and I will you can click that link and I will help you to discover what's going on in order to get the manifestation of financial freedom with your writing moving, some cash in your bank type of a thing. All right. Thank you so much. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.